I have to remind you that sometimes when I tell you stories, I've added a few things for dramatic impact. I've added some things to make the story more interesting. It's like editing. And other times, I tell you the story exactly as it happened, and it leaves you with the challenging problem of having to figure out whether Demet speaks truthfully or is he perhaps making up a big story for you. Well, the story I want to tell you is about a time in Lancaster many years ago in the 70s, or was it the 80s? Oh, time moves fast when you're an old guy. I was doing a talk show in Lancaster, California, which is very close to Edwards Air Force Base. A strange thing happened this night. Now, bear in mind, I did not see this personally, but everybody I knew told me about it the next day. A bunch of green lights came over Lancaster very slowly, very slow, and they were heading towards Edwards Air Force Base. Now, I was relaxing, watching Let's Make a Deal on my television set. It was a set that my trusting and loyal ward, when I brought it home, it was early color TV, and it was a portable. And he looked at it and he said, "My God, it's got a handle on it," because he knew we were going to move because Jerry couldn't hold a job in one place. "We'll give you 20 cents more an hour." "Okay, I'm on my way." But anyway, that's not what this story's about. Now, I was watching Let's Make a Deal, or was it? Doesn't matter. I could have made up a program, but I strive, for honesty. Okay. I get a call on the telephone. It's from one of the reporters from the Antelope Valley newspaper. And he says, "Demet, you know what's going on at Edwards Air Force Base?" I said, "No, I don't have a clue." "What's going on?" He said, "Something very strange. They've restricted the airspace around Edwards Air Force Base. And people saw green lights heading in that direction." I said, "Whoa, what could this mean?" He said, "Let's go. Let's get down there and find out." So we headed out to Edwards Air Force Base. Now, Edwards Air Force Base, NASA's there, everything, but their security is a joke. You can walk into the place anywhere you want and get in. Seems to be very light security. But this day, all the gates were locked and guards on them. So Ron, the reporter from the Antelope Valley newspaper, said, "I know of a back entrance. We can go into the back entrance." So I said, "Sounds fine to me. Let's go." So we go back to the back entrance. And sure enough, there is a chain link fence. And part of the chain link is broke away from one of the poles, and we walked right through and onto the main runway at Edwards Air Force Base. We were standing there and looked across, and there it was. The reason the airspace was restricted. It was Air Force One. And the door opened, and there was Lyndon Johnson. He had a 20-gallon hat. It was huge. He was 10 foot tall, and he walked right down that ramp and straight over to us. And he said, "Are you guys reporters?" I said, "Oh, no, just a little reporter. I work in Lancaster. We were just here today." And my friend said, "Oh, yeah, well, I just small newspaper in Antelope Valley. And this is my interview with Lyndon Johnson." He said, "Ha!" And he turned around and walked away. I do not know what happened that night at Edwards Air Force Base, but I will tell you, the UFOs were there, because that's where they went. But I didn't see the UFOs. but I definitely saw Air Force One and Lyndon Johnson. Or was it Harry Truman? It could have been George Bush. Anyway, believe it or not, it could be true. It could be a bold-faced lie. I leave the decision up to you. Peace and good.